American universities are rebranding DEI departments instead of eliminating them. Study finds. So all those headlines you've been seeing in recent months about these DEI departments in colleges being shut down and staff let go, a lot of them are just being shuffled into a different rebranded department. These findings highlight how deeply embedded racism and DEI concepts are in higher indoctrination, William A. Jacobson says. This is going to be a self-correcting problem. No one's going to want to do this. Eventually, people are just going to learn the whole system is corrupt and is unsalvageable, and everyone in it should be blacklisted, and they'll just start a new parallel industry. Now, some American universities claimed they would eliminate DEI ideology, but instead opted to rebrand the polarizing practice, according to criticalrace.org. Oh, this is hilarious. Nice name for the site, too. Criticalrace.org, which monitors racist curricula and training in higher indoctrination, has cataloged over 700 institutions of higher indoctrination to examine activities on campus. The group says that out of 26 universities where legislative efforts had been implemented to phase out DEI, 10 have simply replaced them with new offices that have similar programming and or personnel, as lawmakers face an uphill battle to uproot DEI ideology from public institutions. Now, if you're serious about this, there's only one thing you can do. Only one. You need to fire everybody at these institutions. So you give them one chance. You tell them, shut down DEI. And if you see that they're trying to be sneaky about it and they're just rebranding it and shuffling people around, then you fire everybody. Just wipe the whole slate clean, blacklist them all for life, and bring on entirely new staff. That's the only way we're going to be able to do this at some. It's so embedded. Now, these findings highlight how deeply embedded racism and DEI concepts are in higher indoctrination and trans ideological commitment that is resistant to change, which is why you got to do what I said. You got to get rid of all of them. Now, the efforts to excise racism and DEI from universities will take time to see real impact, Jacobson continued. Not if you do it my way. Higher indoctrination has little desire to reform itself, and only a sustained long-term effort will move universities back to a central mission of indoctrination and away from ideological indoctrination. I think that the economy might fix this way faster than the government will. And by might, I mean it definitely will happen that way. Because college is viewed as a waste now by more and more young people. They're going to get starved of money, like simple as. That's all that's going to happen. They're going to run out of money. They're going to have no choice but to start letting people go. And they're going to have to let go of all these goddamn bloat positions first, or else they're never going to be able to make money again. Jacobson, clinical professor of law at Cornell Law School, founder of the Legal Insurrection website. That's a good site, by the way. Founded criticalrace.org sprawling database. That has also examined elite K-12 private schools, America's top undergraduate programs, military service academies, medical schools, and others. Yes, keep all of them under a microscope. That's what you need to do. Criticalrace.org's latest project was to examine the states where states want to eliminate DI from college campuses. Alabama, Florida, Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, North Dakota have taken legislative action to eliminate DI practices, but criticalrace.org found that new offices such as the Office of Access and Engagement and the Division of Access, Opportunity, and Diversity will replace former DI offices at many institutions. Yep. And every time we talk about this, someone brings up Bridge. Yeah, it's like the same concept. It is a rebranding, but Bridge is also already out there. People already know of that acronym. They're not going to call it Bridge much longer. They're renaming it this crap, like Office of Access and Engagement. So many indoctrination groups have moved on from racism and DEI to other issues because the politics have shifted to other topics such as gender theory. That's part of DEI. At criticalrace.org, we are keeping the focus on CRT and DEI, or racism and DEI, precisely because others have lost their focus, because racism and DEI poses a threat to our core rights of equality and equal protection of the laws. Only as long as colleges survive, but they may not survive much longer. We may not have to worry about this problem much longer. The free market will take care of this. I'm telling you right now, the free market will take care of this problem. Maybe a little bit slower than some people would like, but well, should have helped us out sooner. At our equalprotect.org project, we take legal action to remedy discrimination done in the name of DEI based on our research findings at criticalrace.org. We urge the public to send us tips as to discriminatory programs and scholarships. Yes, we're finally fighting back and using their own tactics against them. This has always been illegal, yet nobody thought to sue them for it until now. Now the gloves are off. Criticalrace.org details the exact curriculum and training at each school, along with the contact information and overview of each university. University of Alabama, Florida State, University of Iowa, University of Northern Iowa, and Oklahoma State University, South Dakota State University, University of South Dakota, okay, University of Tennessee system-wide, University of Utah, and Utah Valley University have all rebranded at DEI efforts according to criticalrace.org. Well, thank you for keeping them honest. Maybe now that they know they're being watched, they're at least going to try to be slightly more careful and creative about it. Only slightly. For example, University of Alabama disbanded its DI office and launched the Division of Opportunities, Connections, and Success. However, the new division is led by Dr. Christine Taylor, who was the Vice President and Associate Provost for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. CriticalRace.org wrote in its findings. Yeah, the exact same people doing the exact same discrimination, just under a different name. This is why we got to keep them under a microscope. Florida State University took a similar approach by changing title names and reclassifying positions of employees who are already working in DEI to give them different roles. The approach circumvented the university laying anyone off. The report continued. The Office of Equal Opportunity and Compliance and Engagement was activated in October current year -1 to replace the DEI office. It's the same thing. Now, CriticalRace.org managing editor Kimberly Kay isn't surprised. We predicted a year ago after the Supreme Court affirmative action ruling that DEI would not disappear on college campuses and would move underground in a variety of ways. Our research findings confirm our analysis that one-time legislative efforts are not sufficient and sustained action is necessary. Yeah, because look at how it got so entrenched. The other side had to resort to sustained action to get things as bad as they are now. So in order to reverse it, it'll take an equal amount of sustained action. Yeah, this isn't a problem that could be solved by just like, so some random politician is going to write one law and the problem's going to go away. No, man. They got to be kept under that damn microscope for years. The research is imperative to understanding that legislative efforts halting the funding and or proliferation of DEI and racism on campus is a solid first step, but they're not a one-stop solution. More than a dozen additional states have pending legislation related to DEI ideology. CriticalRace.org is a project of the Legal Insurrection Foundation, a nonprofit devoted to campus free speech and academic freedom, which also runs the Equal Protection Project. Fox News Digital reached out to the schools listed for comment. Oh, one of them even responded. That's weird. Or two of them did. University of Alabama provided Fox News Digital with the following statement. The University of Alabama's division of DEI was closed, and initiatives, programs, and responsibilities across campus that are not in compliance with the applicable state and federal laws are being discontinued. UA's Division of Opportunities, Connection, and Success is a new organization with a new mission and programs that will promote success for everyone in the UA community. It's not a rebrand and will operate in compliance with Alabama Act 2024-34, and it takes effect October 1st. Okay, this is just their way to try to weasel out of it. They're like, okay, we found a few loopholes so we can legally continue doing what we have been doing. So yeah, we're going to disband the previous department that apparently was doing it wrong. We're going to implement all the loopholes up front in the new one, and we're ready to go. Let's just resume where we left off. This is like no different than an athlete getting busted doing performance-enhancing drugs. So they stop doing the one they got busted for and they switch to another one. And they're like, no, I meet all the compliance now. This new drug I'm doing hasn't been banned yet, so you can't ban me for using it. This is the type of people we're dealing with. Like these are the people that argue definitions of words and semantics all the time, so they can pull these stupid moves. Like, well, technically, I didn't violate exactly what you said. You need to know that these are the tactics of these fucking snakes. Now, Utah Valley University said the school is following the Utah law and guidance of the Utah System of Higher Indoctrination, and the University of Utah directed Fox News Digital to Salt Lake Tribune report on the situation. Yeah, they're not lying though. That's what makes this so fucking slimy. They had a legal expert thoroughly analyze the new laws and find them all the loopholes they need to continue doing what they're doing. So yeah, they're not lying when they say, no, we stopped doing all the stuff that's going to be against the law and we're doing it right this time. An Oklahoma State spokesperson told Fox News Digital that OSU is committed to compliance with the governor's executive order. Yeah, again, same thing. What did I say? All they're saying is we are complying with the letter of the law. We are not violating the letter of the new law. We have found loopholes so we can continue doing what we're doing already without violating any of the new laws. Don't worry about it. We're fully compliant with the executive orders and the laws. Yeah, the laws that totally didn't have loopholes put in them on purpose, specifically for this. Yeah. So this alone is why we need to be extremely vigilant. This crowd is notorious for tactics like this. So you can never take them at their word when they say, because notice like they're not going to say, maybe the first one did. The Alabama University said they actually closed the division and then they opened up a new one. But none of them are going to outright say, oh, we stopped with all the racism and DEI activism, because they could be called out on that and punished. No, all they're going to say is we closed down the offending department and we opened up another one that aims to benefit everybody. Yeah, this crowd's very deceptive. All right. Have you guys been to college? Like, do you remember what you spent most of your time in college doing? These are people who are known to just write papers day in and day out. Being deceptive with their semantics is like core to their being. That's just what they do.